Take a deep breath and feel the weight of your own skin. Look at your hands for a moment. These are the hands that have built your world. They have fixed the broken things, they have carried the heavy burdens, and they have shielded you from the storms that no one else saw coming. You take a profound, secret pride in one sentence. I do not need anyone. It is your mantra. It is your armor. It is the silent declaration you make every time you refuse a helping hand, every time you swallow your tears in the dark, and every time you solve a crisis before anyone even notices there was a problem. To the world, you are the rock. You are the high-performance machine. You are the lone wolf that everyone admires from a distance. But in the quiet hours of 2 a.m, when the blue light of your phone is the only sun in your universe, that armor feels less like protection and more like a coffin. You feel a hollow, aching exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. You feel like a ghost haunting your own life, successful, capable, and utterly unreachable. You wonder why, despite having everything under control, you feel like you are starving in a room full of food. You wonder why the thought of leaning on someone else makes your heart race with a fear more intense than the fear of failure itself. If this resonates with you, I want you to listen very carefully. You are not strong. You are not self-sufficient. You are a survivor of a sophisticated biological rewiring. What you call your greatest strength, your hyper-independence, is actually a high-performance survival mask. It is a social ghost protocol that your brain wrote 20 years ago to protect a heart that was tired of being disappointed. Today, at the Behavioral Psychology Lab, we are going to perform a forensic deep dive into the hyper-independence trap. We're going to decode why the modern pursuit of being a high-value lone wolf is actually a dark psychological descent into biological failure. We will expose the neuroscience of counterdependency, the chilling results of the Asch conformity experiment, and why society in 2026 is designed to keep you isolated, productive, and broken. And most importantly, we will open the ancient, iron-clad toolbox of Stoicism to show you that real power is not the ability to stand alone, but the sovereignty to choose who you stand with. By the end of this journey, the heavy crown you have been carrying will begin to feel different. You will realize that the only way to truly win is to stop playing the game of I'm fine. Before we analyze the hardware of your isolation, we must confront a dark reality that the self-improvement industry refuses to tell you. There is a specific reason why you feel like a fraud every time someone praises your strength. There is a dark psychological ritual you perform every day called the competence sacrifice, where you trade your soul for the safety of being useful. We will discuss how to break this sacrifice in a power moment, but first, we must look at the ghost that lives in your nervous system, the child who realized that the adults in the room were not coming to save them. To understand why you cannot ask for help, we must understand the still-face society you were born into. Think back to a specific memory. You are 7 or 8 years old. There is a problem, maybe a scraped knee, a broken toy, or a storm of sadness in your chest. You look up at the person who is supposed to be your anchor, but their face is a still face. They are overwhelmed by their own stress, lost in their own addictions, or perhaps they are physically there, but psychologically 1,000 miles away. You reach out, you cry, you point to the wound, and nothing happens. The synchrony is broken. In that moment, your small, brilliant brain makes a life-altering calculation. It is a biological contract signed in the silence. If reaching out leads to the pain of being ignored, I will simply stop reaching out. If I am my own hero, I can never be disappointed. This is the birth of the hyper-independent child. You stopped being a child and started being a project manager. You learned to read the room, to predict the moods of the adults, and to fix your own dinner before you were old enough to reach the stove. The world looked at you and called you mature. They called you an old soul. But they were witnessing a tragedy. They were watching the disappearance of a human being into a mask of competence. Now, look at your adult life. You are the one everyone calls in a crisis. You are the strong friend. You are the partner who handles the bills, the emotions, and the logistics. But when you are the one drowning, you do it silently. You believe that asking for help is a sign of weakness, or worse, an invitation for someone to control you. One of our viewers, a high-level executive in New York, shared a story that echoes through the lives of millions. He had achieved everything: the seven-figure salary, the penthouse, the respect of his peers. But when his father passed away, he didn't tell a soul. He went to the funeral, flew back the same night, and was at his desk at 8 in the morning. He said, "I felt like if I showed a single crack, the whole skyscraper would collapse." This is the skyscraper fallacy. You have built your life on the assumption that your value is tied to your invulnerability. You have forgotten that a skyscraper is designed to sway in the wind. It is the rigid structures that snap. In dark psychology, this is known as counter-dependency. While a dependent person clings to others for safety, you cling to your isolation. Both are reactions to the same fear, the fear that you are not enough as you are. But why does the world reward this? Why is lone wolf culture becoming the religion of the 2020s? Let us move from the story to the laboratory. Why is your brain so terrified of trust? The first scientific pillar we must examine is the Asch conformity experiment. Conducted in the 1950s by Solomon Asch, it showed how easily people abandon their own truth to fit into a group. For a hyper-independent person, this experiment is a nightmare. Your brain has associated group membership with loss of self. You stay on the edges of the tribe because you believe that to be in is to be erased. You choose the pain of isolation over the perceived threat of conformity. You are not a lone wolf because you hate people. You are a lone wolf because you are terrified of losing the self you worked so hard to build in the silence. But there is a deeper neurological cost. Let us talk about the polyvagal theory and the social engagement system. When a normal human feels stressed, they reach for co-regulation. They look at a friendly face, they hear a soothing voice, and their vagus nerve signals the body to calm down. But for the hyper-independent brain, other people are not a source of safety. They are a source of cognitive load. Your brain records the world in 8K resolution, just like the super sensors we discussed in previous deep dives. When someone offers to help you, your brain doesn't see a gift. It sees a debt. It sees a covert contract. You think, what do they want from me? What will this cost me later? How will they use this against me? Because of this, your sympathetic nervous system stays in a permanent state of high alert. You are always running a simulation of betrayal. This chronic stress floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline, leading to the dorsal vagal shutdown we see in so many high achievers. You aren't calm, you are numb. You are a biological system that has overheated and shut down its emotional ports to prevent a total meltdown. Now, let us look at the digital conscience of 2025. The algorithms have noticed your isolation. They know that a lone wolf is the perfect consumer. Why? Because a person who doesn't have a tribe to lean on must buy their value. You buy the productivity apps to manage your loneliness. You buy the luxury goods to signal the status that replaces real connection. You scroll through parasocial relationships on your screen because they offer the illusion of intimacy without the risk of rejection. The world is not ignoring you, it is cyberballing you. Just like in the cyberball study, where participants felt physical pain when excluded from a digital game of toss, you are feeling the social pain of a world that is designed to be a still face. You think you are choosing to be alone, but you are being socially engineered into a state of presence deprivation. You are becoming a high-value ghost in a machine that only cares about your output. We have decoded the biological prison. You now understand that your strength is a survival reflex and your independence is a shield. But how do we put the shield down without being destroyed? How do we move from survival to sovereignty? The answer lies in a concept that most lone wolves hate: radical interdependence. We are about to discuss the Stoic strategy for social integration. This is not about becoming needy. It is about becoming unbreakable through the power of others. But first, you must learn the most difficult lesson of the inner citadel. To reclaim your life, you must undergo a process of tactical vulnerability. This is not about crying in front of strangers. It is about the Stoic dichotomy of control applied to your relationships. Tool number 1, the reparenting of the hero. You must go back to that 7-year-old child who decided they didn't need anyone. You must step into that memory as your adult self and say, "The war is over. You did a magnificent job of keeping us alive, but we are safe now. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to be small." This is the psychological practice of shadow work. You must embrace the part of you that you have judged as weak. Every time you say no to a task you are too exhausted to do, you are telling that child that their worth is not a transaction. You are breaking the competence sacrifice. Tool number 2, the small ask protocol. For a hyper-independent person, asking for $1,000 is easier than asking for a glass of water. Why? Because the glass of water requires intimacy. Start with low-stakes vulnerability. Ask a colleague for their opinion on a minor detail. Ask a friend to recommend a book. These are not debts, they are bids for connection. You are training your nervous system to realize that interaction does not equal erasure. You are rebuilding your social engagement system, one small ask at a time. Tool number 3, the Stoic sympatheia. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We were born for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids." The lone wolf is a biological anomaly. In nature, a wolf that is kicked out of the pack doesn't become alpha, it dies. Real high value is not about how much you can do alone. It is about the density of your network. Shift your focus from self-reliance to community reliance. Build a greenhouse of people who record life in 8K resolution, like you do. These are the people who don't need you to be the rock. They are the ones who can sit with you in the silence and not feel the need to fill it with empty noise. Tool number 4, breaking the digital conscience. Stop performing your life for an audience of ghosts. Delete the apps that make you feel like you are winning, but leave you empty. Reclaim your psychological ownership. Do things that have no utility. Paint a picture and throw it away. Walk in the woods without a fitness tracker. Play a game with no leaderboard. You are teaching your brain that you exist beyond your productivity. You are proving to your nervous system that you are enough simply because you breathe. As we close this deep dive, I want you to look at that lone wolf mask one last time. It is a beautiful mask. It is strong, it is shiny, and it has kept you safe for a long time. But masks are heavy, and eventually, the person behind the mask begins to wither from the lack of sunlight. You never had a childhood, but you still have a future. And in this future, you do not have to be the hero of every story. You are allowed to be the guest. You are allowed to be the student. You are allowed to be the one who is helped. Real strength is the courage to be seen in your fractures. Real power is the sovereignty to say, "I am struggling, and I need you." In the coming year, 2026, the world will tell you to be faster, tougher, and more independent. Do not fall for the trick. The still face of the world is only a reflection of its own fear. Choose the greenhouse. Choose the synchrony. Choose the unbreakable tribe. If you felt a shift in your gravity today, if you realize that your hyper-independence is a cage, you are now ready to leave, then you belong here at the Behavioral Psychology Lab. Consider subscribing as we continue to decode the dark corridors of the human mind and master the art of true sovereignty. Share this video with the strong friend in your life who never asks for anything. They are the ones who need to hear these words the most. And remember, the moon is never truly alone. It is always held in the gravity of the earth. You don't need to be the sun to be powerful. You just need to be real. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your silence. And thank you for having the courage to listen to the truth. Until next time, keep observing, keep trusting, and never apologize for the magnificent complexity of your soul. Class dismissed. Think about the last time someone offered you a genuine compliment and you brushed it off. Think about why you did that. Was it modesty? Or was it the fear that if you accepted their light, you would owe them your shadow? Next time, just say thank you and let the light in. It's the first step to coming home. Goodbye for now.